Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Open Mic, Episode 8. How is everyone doing tonight? How are you all?
I am sending many sailors to die, but their deaths will serve a greater cause.
Okay, wasn't expecting that, but...
The VXP weekend, maybe?
Okay. No, well, it's great to see you all here. We've got the VXP weekend going on. We've got, I don't know, is there a campaign going at the moment? I think there's one TLC, or is it two?
Maybe two?
2, 5, maybe?
Basically the same number.
Yeah, just the same as we get every week, basically.
If it's over,
daily, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the campaigns first, guys, if you want. Run into that first before you all go nuts about how much you enjoy the VXP weekend. Yeah, I mean, how are you all finding the campaigns?
By a chance, I found them. I thought I would be lucky and not find them, but yeah, I found them.
You found them, yeah. I didn't mean actually, can you find them? Yeah. Are you enjoying the campaigns? Obviously, the missile, the
I
ship...
enjoy a lot the one of the Liberator. I think it's a very new system. I like it a lot. Problem is that it's 7 maps, and after the 5 encounter with them, it's a bit repetitive, and you start to get a bit bored of doing that. But I like it. The other ones, well, I don't think I need that crew, so I didn't do it. I think I have enough spies, so I didn't go for that one either. And the TIE Seeker, I have already the one I need, and I'm not using anymore. So I didn't feel the need of doing them, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Harlock Tide Seeker is a great haul, but I mean, I could never see myself building a second one. I just wish they would let us build a second Harlock Citadel. I mean, I can keep dreaming for that one, but I mean, come on, Kickside, just give us one more.
You have a Zoe's Ven. That's kind of another one.
It's not. You know what? You sound just like Raken. He said that to me too, and that is it's not the same because it's not.
That's fair.
The Zoe's Ven is not PVE. It's PvP. You know. Anyway.
Yeah, you can get your resists real high on the Citadel, and yeah, it is different.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming. Okay, let's ask along the line. I'm going to ask you all, and who is the? It just says the Holsh. Hello, the Holsh.
What? Yeah. What's the question?
Hey, buddy. Sorry. I was just trying to ask on the line there. Are you enjoying the TLCs? Is there anything there that sparks your interest?
I still need to finish my FM, but I've been busy just killing my fleets and repairing for VXP, so I haven't really started any yet. So I'll start those tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, same. I haven't started any of mine yet. Actually, I did try one, and I had a bit of an issue with it, so I haven't actually done any of the campaigns yet. But I don't think I'm going to do all of them. I don't think I need to. Monster, are you with us? Just see you jumping in and out. I think you're just a bit overexcited.
I was getting some feedback, but I've just refreshed.
Okay, buddy. Well, yeah, I mean, you've kind of took some time away from the game, so I imagine the campaigns for you are actually a great thing because it gives you an opportunity to maybe catch some stuff you missed. Is that right?
Yeah, mate, yeah. I've done most of them now. I did the Spike, which I thought was good. I know a lot of folks don't use it now, but I've got one and enabled me to build one and put it in like my base. So that's something.
Nice.
I've done the Tide Seeker one as well, so I've now got a Tide Seeker lead, which was sweet.
Mm-hmm. Spotting subs on the map, eh? Who would have thought it?
Yes, man. Who would have thought it, eh?
I know. Who would have ever seen that day coming?
Exactly.
Robin, I don't know if you. I think you said you didn't have much feedback on them. Is there anything with the campaigns or?
Yeah, the Homeland was a little bit tough for me. I'm still kind of refitting my citadels, and then driving them into the wall didn't help, so I was able to sub some of them out, but handled the other ones, was able to do the Spite one for the first time, and then did the Rogue Crew one.
Nice. Okay, well, drum roll, are you ready? The man, the myth, the legend that is TSM.
Yeah, don't build it up too much, mate. Yeah, I've been okay, to be honest. I'm a bit like Tito, to be honest. I've done the Homeland to death, so I've just finished the last round of that and picked up the badge, which is okay. And I finished the... What else did I finish? I finished off the roguelike campaign as well, which actually I only did that really, to be honest. It's not to do with the tokens. It was just see if it was more player friendly compared to the last time. But I hadn't seen too much complaining on the page about it, so I thought I'd give it a go. And actually, with Cannoneers, it's okay. I don't know about Ironclads, but definitely with Cannoneers, it's reasonable. So I did that. And to be honest, ranked a set of prides up this weekend, and I'm not doing ranks yet. And I'm just sitting here now waiting to decide what to do with these Liberators. But yeah, so far so good, to be honest.
You've got coined Liberators already? Coined Liberators?
I've got some.
you have actually surprised me
You've got a
because
fleet of them, mate, the
you're
same
probably
as
the
me.
dirtiest coiner I know now, and you weren't when I first met you. You've like transformed into this filthy coining animal.
Only for the public.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Okay, Jeff. How's it going, buddy? How is the campaigns?
I like them. I've got a couple of rounds left to go on Homeland, and that's about it.
Nice. Okay. All right, Imre, you with us? You've been out stealing targets this VXP weekend?
Oh, yeah, stealing VXP, good idea. I've been busy with the Homeland campaign. I've done it 3 times. I need to finish it.
Okay.
Probably I can do it one more time before the end of the weekend and build a 6-day thing out of it and put some rank on it. But other than that, I don't really have plans.
Okay, then the guy that never stopped speaking, Mr. George.
Hell yeah! I don't know. All I've done was the Liberator one, and after that, 100,000 VXP. I've been busy. I haven't touched the other ones.
Okay. I know you really enjoyed this VXP weekend as well.
Yeah, I don't. I'm biting my tongue right now, man. 100,000 fucking VXP.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, Brian. I'm sure this is going to be very short and not long-winded at all.
Brevity is the soul of wit, and I'm witty or something. The spite I didn't do. I don't have need for it. The rogue core didn't do. I have no need for it. I think there's another one, but I can't even remember it. So that's how much I care. So I didn't do it. I like the Legion one. I really like the design of the targets. I think it was a really neat twist that they have the ships that come in after you. I hate that mortar ship. I've been able to deal with it since, but I hate it. I like that they're making you pick different hull classes, although picking a PvP and a PvE one is a little difficult because you have to spend a lot of your build time just catching up in PvE, and a lot of people don't have time to build PvP ships. So that's rough, but I'm able to get the Liberator and build them, and it's fun. I like it.
Okay, Mark, just quick, did you guys cover the Liberator and the new turret on Tuesday's show? No. Yeah, well, guys, I just wanted to say, what do you feel about the Liberator and the Hyena turret? How do you feel about these new prizes? Any opinions on that? I'm sure you've got.
I got my math guy Brian over there that did math for us this afternoon, so he has our opinions.
Brian,
I think.
Brian, go for it.
Yeah, we did a bit of math on the Hyena and its accuracy versus the evade of Tier 6 Conqueror hulls and Phalanx, and it looks pretty bad, basically. If they have a good guidance scrambler or agility system 4 all retroed out and a speed system, their evade is 66%, so that'll hurt you pretty bad. Phalanx 4 itself has pretty good accuracy, and if they have a countermeasure system on that, it's even worse. If they have all of it, you're going to hit about 1 time in 5. So that's pretty bad. The missile itself is very strong. It's just inconsistent. I'm trying to make different builds to kind of get around it, but nothing's really going out well. So the Hyena turret, I don't think it's going to be as strong as we first thought. The Legion itself, it looks like a good prep hole, looks like a good missile hole. I'm annoyed that the range is 106. I think Ren mentioned it on Tuesday about how you have to change a lot of base designs because previously 5 tiles in a wall is safe, and that's not the case anymore.
No.
So just edging out that range, and it can outrange a lot of the frontline turrets as well without really even trying. So that seems a bit too strong.
That's it's bringing prepping back, isn't it, to a whole new level.
Well, there was always come a time when they brought out a ship which could outrange the front turrets, like, because we've had it for so long now that turrets outrange all of the weapons on ships.
But isn't it range? If it ranges at 106, sorry, Stuart, I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine, mate. Fine.
I was just going to say the range being 106 and then most turret ranges being 105. Then it's so marginal that you're going to have to fucking stop it dead precision, aren't you? To
Not really. I was hitting on the last level of the Liberator. There are 104 or 105 turrets, and I was just clicking on them, and they were not shooting at me, and I was not taking any damage from those.
Okay.
But the main problem of that is that you have to redo your base now, because it's 5 tiles and 3 walls in the new safe spot on the north, and 5 tiles and 2 walls on the south.
Yeah, mine's done already.
If your distance are not corrected, people is going to snipe you with that, and the Vendettas and the Zoe Vendetta just from their side. They will not need to get into the channel.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite easy to do, though. It's not hard, really, to be honest. It's only another 2 tiles at best, so or two wall spaces. It's not the end of the world. It is feasible. I had to do very little in my base to get it to the right distance now.
But I can see these holes, like, you know, we're kind of in this rock paper scissors element of the game where your fleet's weak to something, so you kind of protect against something. Now, you know, there's no reason why you can't now know, right, I've got a base fleet that's weak to this and this, therefore I'm going to send in this missile prep fleet and pop off those 2 frontline turrets just now before I do the hit, and then clean it up, just like we used to prep in the old days, you know, 2-3 years ago. So I feel that it's going to really boost the strategy side of the game. Well, maybe not the strategy, but the
coiners.
Sorry, bud.
Only amongst the coiners. If you didn't coin this VXP weekend, you're not going to have your rank.
True. And I haven't coined the rank because I
saw a Liberator with no rank whatsoever almost pull out a complete guard, and it had hardly rank on it whatsoever. It had about 3 stripes.
Just one.
He was very good at driving. Okay, it wasn't the toppest. Okay, because everyone gets. If you're not hitting the number 1 base in the game, some people think that you've failed and that sort of stuff. Well, that means then that 59,995 people are just obviously rubbish, and one person's good. Well, there's always a tree. Of course there is, and someone's at the top of the tree. But as long as you're comfortable hitting 90% of the people, that's all that matters. And this person was hitting a base that was well over level 100 and that sort of stuff, and actually we only won the hull. And he spun in, and I tell you, he thought the Liberator was going to die. He spun in, basically, took out the front ship, which actually was the red ret, Zoe ret. And his hull didn't die. So you could see he went to spin back out again, and actually he just went, I'll go. I could see what he was doing because I was watching him. He spun on and got the second ship as well. So that's 2 ships out of the 5, and actually the 2 important ones, to be honest, the front 2, which they always are, and that sort of stuff. And then he came in with some prides and absolutely annihilated the base, and they weren't ranked either.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I think that they're even designed for. I mean, they're a lethal fleet, really, in the right hands.
I think that's the Liberator fixed at 30 minutes, and if he's got ahead 5, was it 4 or 5 prides? I can't remember what it was anyway. And if he hasn't armed them up, then that's not bad either, to be honest. It's not horrendous. He probably fixed the whole lot for about 8 coin.
Yeah, it's going to kind of force the game into a thinking of making your base Liberator safe first. You know what I mean, or Liberator prep to an extent.
Yeah, but there are things that can stop missiles, so and stun missile ships and that sort of stuff. So it just gives a bit of thought. If you've got the toys, that is, as ever, it's the same old game, isn't it? It's basically a dolly mixtures game, isn't it?
What stuns it? At 106, what stuns that?
Well,
the special on the buildings.
That's 102.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can outrange that one.
Well, doesn't the what's it called? What's it called? That lays down the path of not the Wendigo, the next one up. Doesn't that has a stun effect?
No, that slows you.
Oh, yeah.
That's glacial.
Okay.
There's stuff out there. I'm not telling everybody everything, but there's stuff out there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think I certainly think that it's a powerful ship, but I imagine that Kixeye have probably got something more powerful or as powerful in the mix. Maybe a new base guard, maybe more weapons. Maybe we're going to see some weapon ranges hit that 106 mark. Maybe we might even see some turrets. You know, we could see some stuff that's gonna counterbalance it as we normally do. So, I guess enjoy it while you can.
Well, yeah, I mean, just before I left and come back, it was swinging more towards base defense. But I think now it's starting to swing more back towards ships, mate.
If you look at the Conqueror Holes guide T5, there's a Conqueror Hole out there that's got a stun effect of 115. And most people should have it.
Well, isn't the what's it called? The rocket hull that releases a stun effect.
You mean?
I can't remember its name now. It's just that old of a hull.
That would be the Fury, yeah.
Not the Fury.
I didn't know the range.
Yeah, the Fury range is 115 for stun.
I didn't
I'm
think the
thinking
range
of
was
that.
that
I'm
big.
thinking of that really.
Gore Saber?
The Gore Saber. That's
The Borbus Gore Saber.
Yeah, that's
the
got
stun
a
thing.
stun of like was it 200 or something stupid like that? I don't know. It's got
There
a
are
big
holes there. If you go back through your fleets, you'll be surprised.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Well, okay, so we've covered that. We've covered the hyena. We're not thinking a great deal of the hyena, are we, Brian? But you never know. You never know if the hyena is put in the right position and it's getting that 50%. If I was talking to Stu actually earlier in chat, and I said that maybe if you put a hyena towards the end of your channel, like so when the attacker's already ran through the gauntlet of your channel and is getting towards the center of your island, hyena missile in there, maybe it will benefit from that your ship being below 50% and getting that critical hit. It could make all the difference. You never know, even just one of them.
Or even a normal hit, it hits like a truck. It's got a hit, but if it does, that's a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's just inconsistent.
Yeah, depending on the building, you have to take care of the accuracy, but you can reach even 80k of damage with that thing. So it's 40 at the end, but it hits like Brian said. It's a huge hit, and if you put it in the middle of your channel and you cover all the channel with that, you're going to do a lot of damage to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's with a few fire supports and all the specials you can use. I think you can put that on a reload of 2 seconds or something close to that.
Mm-hmm. And we can buff the accuracy as well, can we not, with a special?
Yeah, to 150.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It depends also on the weight of the guy hitting you, because I saw that 150, depending on the weight of the guy you're hitting. If the normal, for example, of the price with agility system 40, 66, and you were having a chance of 50% of hitting that. But if it was ranking up to 80%, I think the chances were in 150 is something close to 37. And if you just were using one special for accuracy and getting 105, you were between 100
doesn't
20%.
Doesn't the effect of a glacial turret also reduce evade? Or is it just reduces accuracy? It has a couple of debuffs built into it, doesn't it?
I think it's just resistance.
I think the debuffs are for resistance. No, I'm not sure if it affects evade. I will have to check.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I might be talking shite.
There's a lot of debuffs, so
yeah, it does deliver a fair amount. Okay, guys. Well, so we've kind of covered the campaigns. I mean, I just wanted to ask you, what do you actually think about sort of Kixeye's current trend of us seeing, like, we seem to be seeing so many campaigns each week, and I don't know. There's a lot of mixed views as to whether people think it's a good thing or it's a bad thing, and I think, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about it?
Oh, it's been a week. I think it's time for a new baser.
I suppose if they did campaigns for the lower guys to catch up, it would be a good thing. But if they're doing campaigns like we've just had, where you've got to get the new hull to be on top of the game each week, then it's going to be...
For me, to be honest, there's only one campaign I needed to do, and that was Homeland. The rest of them, the High Tide, that was for the previous raid format. So that's for like something that was 4 months ago. Spiteful, that is, again, it's a rerun of a rerun of a rerun, so you either got them or you haven't got them, or you couldn't get before, and now you have the chance to do them. But if you can do, obviously, Homeland, there's no need to do Spiteful. There's not really much point, to be honest.
Yeah,
but there aren't. See, I agree with you, Mark. In terms of like, for me, there's only one campaign I need to do. So they are kind of there to help players catch up. But aren't they level locking them?
50, only 50. Level 50 for the. I mean, level 50 for all of them, but for the Homeland. So unless you're it's not level locked, then it's OP level locked. So unless you're actually requiring to hit bases, and it's right, I think, in some respect. If you haven't got yourself up to that level, then maybe you're not getting hit or getting recipient of somebody that's hitting you also with an OP9 level. However, that's not ideal because I have seen some level 50s and 55s that have got OP9.
I think that I have more issues with the fact of the Liberator in that Homeland. It's another tier 6 hole just after a weekend of doing a raid, so it's the second fleet to rank. And since the scale from the VXP needed for ranking a fleet to 75% of reload and size of a school rank, as some people call it, it's coming from 47 to 100. That's more the issue I got with it, because I was used to hit 8 or 10 targets suiciding my fleet to get the school run, but now I need 17 targets just to do that. So it's 17 per 2 times because you have 2 different fleets to do, and that for me has become a bit more of a problem, because the other ones, if you didn't have and you needed to do them, yes, it's a float of TLCs to do, but if not, you can skip them.
Yeah, I mean that kind of goes into the whole VXP weekend thing. But as far as the TLCs, I actually like that they bring out the TLCs, and if it's something that they're going to be consistent with, then I have no problem with them coming out with like 3-4 a week, so long as they repeat and players that miss some of the stuff have a chance to go back and do it again.
Catch up TLCs.
That's great. I have no problem with that. At which point I'd be like, well, why don't you just leave it as a regular campaign rather than a TLC? But that's another story. In terms of content, I mean, I like the Liberator, and I kind of understand them trying to limit it to players with OP9. Again, I don't think it's ideal, like Mark, said.
There's no right way, is there, mate?
It's really difficult at this point, unless you base it on tech depth itself. I don't know that it's going to be a great solution any way that you choose.
I personally feel that we are getting too much content in the moment.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things. After the raid, we got we have the prides. We have to do all the stuff with the prides, and then all of a sudden we have these, and people are still trying to do their chill stuff, and it's like. I remember in November I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm actually almost caught up. I have like 1 or 2 things left that I want to do my shipyard, and then I'm gonna have to actually think about what I want to do next because I'm kind of catching up. And all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, I am so far behind. Like the tokens are not going to help me. Mm-hmm. I have to adjust my base defense for the 2. For not just I have to just a base defense. I have to come up with a base defense, not for just 1 new conqueror, but 2 new conquerors. So that's probably going to be a lot of refits there. Then I have to actually fit the 2 conquerors that I've gotten and build them. And I mean,
rank them.
I don't know. Well, the ranking. I'm saving my ranking comments for later so I can rant. So.
I'm actually ranking now.
Aren't they coming out with another TLC pretty soon where supposed to be the go-to hull to hit that one?
To hit what?
That's how it read, mate. It read that you need the Liberator will be the go-to hull for the next tier.
Yeah, they're having these faction TLCs, and the next one's going to be hitting Draconians.
Yeah, but give us a month to recover from this one.
Well, I mean,
because what are you going to do with the next hull? Because the problem we have now with the VXP and tier 6 hulls is that only VXP weekend is where you can get the rank on those, because you cannot use them in any other thing besides that.
Well, they do have VXP tokens in the Liberator TLC, so only that helps a little.
You only got one.
The Liberator gives you 1 time a 25 VXP token. What it gives you on the repeating is 6 days tokens to build and the next one. It doesn't give you more VXP tokens.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I personally feel that like the first 3 quarters of last year Kickstarter were kind of, we were running at a good pace. I feel that the content was controlled. We weren't overloaded, but we weren't underloaded either. You know, we were kind of at a good pace. And I kind of feel in the last sort of 6 months, it's just kind of sped up again and got out of control. And I almost feel like the game at the moment is back where it was this time, you know, a year and a half ago, where we're getting 3 or 4 holes a month, and it's not, they're not optional. They're not optional holes. And then this here, what you're saying here about having to build the Liberator to do the next TLC, we're now at a stage where we don't even need to build the new hole to do the next raid. We've got to build the newest TLC hole to do the next TLC as well. I mean, it's just it's all of a sudden getting very costly again. Yeah, and I don't see the content as optional.
Yeah, the TLCs, like, I don't so much mind them as long as they keep them separate enough. Like, there's, let's just, for simply say, like, call it a catch-up tier. Like the Spiteful, if you don't have it, you can get it, but it's been around for a while. Like, that's sort of a catch-up tier sort of thing. You could say the same with the Harlock's Tideseeker one as well, but like, I don't mind so much having those and the new stuff together, so you can kind of work your way up. What I do mind is having this huge bottleneck, and the bottleneck this week is the chores, because we have to do this Liberator thing 5 times, which isn't, you know, it's not super easy. And then there's VXP weekend, and then there's DFM. Like, I can't sit here my entire weekend and do this. Like, I have homework and class.
You've got new content in the FM. Yeah. You've got the VXP weekend to rank your prides that you've just won. The raid finished on Monday. And then there's a TLC with 5 Liberators saying you need them to be built for the next TLC. So
and they recommended the Pride to actually do the TLC for the Liberator, which, you know, the Pride just came the fuck out.
I know. It's like, what do they expect from us? Like, really? That's basically saying coin now. Do you know what I mean? There's no way you can build it otherwise.
What do they expect? What do they expect? I can tell you
guys, I hate to defend Kickstarter on this one, but I have to say that I've been running with a Pride tank in that TLC, and all I had on it was a negotiator mortar to give me 80 spotting range. That's it. That's 2 days and a couple of hours build time. It's not that impossible.
I mean, if you saw my video I did, Imri, I mean, I completed it for instant fix and then for 35 minutes damage, and I was just using a Malice tank with Vendettas.
Hell, I used a revenge. I used a revenge baser, but the issue is not, you know, whether or not you can do it or can't do it or whatever. It's the fact that they recommended a hull that just came out less than a week ago.
They're bound to. They got to encourage you to use things that they want you to buy. It's a company.
But I mean, I was planning on spending the next 3 to 4 weeks building and fitting prides. But now I may say to myself, hang on a minute, prides are a base hull. I don't actually need them right now. If I need to build Liberators to do something coming up in content that might be something I really don't want to miss out on, then I better get that. I better forget the prides. I better get these built now. I can hit bases then. Do you know what I mean? I can hit bases later.
Well, no, they've got you, haven't they? Because they've just achieved what they want you to do. You've been suckered into something that you weren't going to do, and now you are going to do it.
But I know. But you say suckered in, but then it's like I wouldn't say suckered in. I just don't want to fall behind. I want to stay current.
And that's the draw of the game.
How many people on this panel have been hitting bases this weekend?
Me.
I haven't. I'm not a filthy coiner like Mark, though. So
Mark is disgusting.
I'm doing a video tomorrow, by the way, of how not to hit a base with prides. And I went and hit a base yesterday, and I did it in the style of because you've got too much ego to lose and that sort of stuff if you fail. So you just keep going until you actually realise that you failed. So I'm going to write some funny captions to go with that sort of stuff. You know, the example like when one pride dies, obviously then resistance levels drop down, but you think, well, that one nearly made it, so there must one next and that sort of stuff. So it has a decreasing sort of capability of actually getting through the base, and it got worse as the pride fleet went on. It was really funny. I was laughing. I think the guy must have thought I was nuts, to be honest.
Well,
the 5 stages of a pride hit, bargaining.
It was. I was laughing to myself when I was doing it, but you know, it was quite funny. But yeah, I'm going to do that video tomorrow.
Look forward to that one. So, is there anyone else wants to chime in on content and frequency of campaigns and their opinion on it?
Did you want us to talk? I know Robin wanted to talk about it, about actually hitting the XP targets.
Well, we are. Yeah, we're going to get onto onto the VXP.
That's a good way to start it before everyone gets upset and aggravated. Get the good information out first. I like that idea.
Because I'm actually doing it now, believe it or not. I'm doing the
Okay.
VXP now, so.
Okay, no worries. Then let's jump on to VXP and Robin, shortly, lead the way.
Yeah, just a couple of points there. And I don't know if it came out in the forums, and of course it came out on the page afterwards, but the lack of knowledge about how VXP actually works. There were many occasions where people were taking in their half-ranked canoe fleets and other such fleets, and they were actually killing the whole target, not realizing that whether you go in and die or whether you kill the whole thing, the VXP doesn't change. So there was some angst there with respect to trying to get people to understand that whole process, that just throw them in and kill them, doing the extra work isn't doing anything and is just killing the targets.
Yeah, particularly in the hundreds, I think. If you go in the hundreds, and I was putting it in basic in chat here in the sector, because a lot of people were coming down with various fleets, and they were like cutting around and trying to kill as much of the target as possible. And I said to them, guys, just go in at 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock, go forward literally 3 boat spaces and stop. Just sit there. Let them die. Off you go. Either fix them slowly, have a nice evening, or go back and coin them using a grease monkey and then come back out again. Don't go in and try and kill out the turrets. You're serving no purpose apart from just get rid of a target that will just sit there now for the whole weekend, because you started it. It won't pop. It won't disappear.
Yeah, that, and the other piece before George starts is the inability or the lack of thought process from the targets themselves with respect to ships that don't move, a la Vanquishers and Valiants and things like that.
Especially in the 100, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, slightly frustrating. You only got the 55 to do, isn't it? And you got to go and send somebody else like a gunboat to trigger some stuff to come and chase you. Slightly frustrating, but yeah.
Okay, well then let me open the floor to George, because I know he is really excited to talk about VXP.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's going to be a rant. I'm not going to go absolutely crazy, but I have a huge issue with the way that it's set up in terms of both the fleets that we have to rank now, the lack of options to rank these things, because they keep on slowly taking away our big VXP options. And you gave us the tier 6 hull, you gave us 2 of them before VXP weekend, and these are what you want us to use going forward into other targets, but then you doubled the fucking VXP required to get them to skull rank. That's a 1-2 kick in the teeth, because when you go into these targets, you can only get VXP from dying. You can't. It's not like the old Reavers where you can get VXP for dying and for doing damage. You've essentially quadrupled what we had to do to get these to skull rank. Bad method of doing it. I mean, I got so frustrated, and it didn't really dawn on me until I started seeing people report, hey, it's not 50,000, it's not 47,000, it's 100,000 VXP to be skull ranked. And then I started doing this, and I'm like, okay, I saved some coin from Raid. I started using it. I have, Grease Monkey loaded up. I have my Triple Salty loaded up, and I'm like, holy shit, this is taking forever. It's a chore within a chore within a chore, and I'm like, I still have to do my FM. If I want to do any of the other campaigns, I still got to do those campaigns. I had to fly through the campaign for the Liberator. I mean, this sucks. It really does. And I feel bad for anybody that doesn't roll uranium, because they're fucked if they don't got the Grease Monkey and the crew, the Salty Dog, because they're never going to get their crap ranked.
Well, the Liberator, I'm just doing it now. The Liberator without armor, it's for a full fleet of 5. It's taking 4 coins. That's what I'm doing at the moment.
That's not the point, Mark.
No,
what about everyone else? That's
it's not the point.
How many coins did it take you to fully rank that fleet?
Which fleet?
17 by 5.
So 17 of them.
17 by 5. It's fine.
More fully built prides. It was
I'm on the 5th hit now, and I'm on
85 coins each fleet.
So hold on. So 17 hits by 5 coins each, right? Is 85 coins. 85 coins. So $8.50 US for each fleet, just to rank it, plus your time.
Unless you use Grease Monkey, of course.
Right, well, that's true. But what I'm saying is, it's $8.50, right, with a Triple Salty Dog. If you had it run the entire time, if you could rank them that quickly, if you didn't get a target that people will lined up outside to hit it, or if you didn't get stuck at a tower and then start driving slow, I mean, this is crap. And on top of everything else, this is the only 36 hours that you get to do this every month. That's it. You don't do it this 36 hours, you fucked. Okay, I'm done. You guys can take it. You guys can take it.
The same way they did dredges on the past, that there were Tuesdays and Fridays. They will have to do something with the VXP weekend if it's the only way that you can rank your ships. They will have to do a second one or introduce some sort of target that you can hit more often than this. Because if somebody for some reason cannot do this weekend the VXP, they have to wait now a whole month to rank that ship.
Yep.
There's not a way.
I mean, I can see all the chores. I can understand the daily campaign. I can understand all this stuff. I can see both sides of it, and I'm like, you know what? I can make a good argument on either side. For this one right now, I'm struggling to find the other side that's actually a legitimate side to this, because you take out half of our VXP because we can't get any for attacking, and then you double our VXP required, so you cut our ability by a quarter. Or to a quarter of what it was. It's just, it's not sitting well with me right now. And it really didn't dawn on me until I actually was in the middle of doing it, and that's when I got really frustrated. Doubly because, one, I didn't see it coming, because I didn't really think it through, and then two, because then I was already in the middle of it, and I was just, you're in the middle of it, and you get just aggravated at just how much time it takes, and holy crap. If you're going to make me pay for the damn thing, at least just come up front, go, here you go, this is how many coins. If you want to take advantage of this special for 36 hours, that way I pay once, and you know what? I'm done in 3 minutes, not in 3 freaking hours. Okay, now I'm done. Go ahead. Sorry.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, anyone else? Come on, VXP.
I mean, I felt that way about my prides because, being stupid, I fully built them to go out and hit bases as soon as I won them.
You couldn't help yourself.
Coiner.
And then it cost, I mean, when the fleet died, it was 20 coins a fix. So with the grease monkey, that like 10 coins, but that was still 150 coins just to rank them, like. And I thought that was a bit steep. It's about 12 quid there?
Yeah, no, it's a bit more than that. Actually, English, yeah. Okay, yeah, currency's difference.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought it was a bit steep because I just paid out 160 odd quid to like build them, which I thought was a bit of a kick in like the teeth. But then, what can you do? I can either not have them ranked or rank them, like, you know what I mean? It's up to them.
I guess it falls down to like how you value and perceive that fleet to you, and how you use it. Like back in the days when we used to have to rank on salvages, ranking a fleet to skull would take months or a month, depending on how committed you were. Whereas now, instead of investing a month of time, you can go out and spend 10 quid on it.
But the problem, Liam, with the tier 6 full is that you don't have any other choice. You can only go to this target.
Yeah,
you can go. You cannot even engage the salves likely with the other holes.
Yeah, it's kind of. I guess what you're saying is basically Kixeye have made it so you have to. You can either hit a couple and repair, and get a bit of rank on them and do it, space it out over months, or coin it and get it done now, and there's no other option to rank them any other way.
I mean, that whole week which I had them built for, and I was hitting player bases and getting hit by fleets, I didn't even get a strike, mate. So the VXP that I was getting from bases and stuff was absolutely awful, mate.
I once had a DNX fleet that had like shocks on back in the day when we could only get to 1 star, and I hit bases for about a year. And I think they only went into 3 stripes. Sorry, Brian, go on.
Yeah. So first, back in my day, we only had 5 ranks, and we liked it, Mylon, etc. But also, this wouldn't be so bad if the VXP from, I guess, dying and the target was more. It's 58.40 per ship with a triple salty. I feel like it was more the other ones, but I don't save those numbers from month to month, so I don't know. But what they could do is they could make it, instead of like almost 6,000, they could make it almost 12,000 or 11,000 or something, so that not only would your new stuff take maybe a little more time to rank comparatively, but I can understand that. But the old stuff that only took 50,000 would be done a lot quicker, so you'd be more powerful a lot quicker if you used the weaker tech.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the solution?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I did rank my prides because they were, I just took the opportunity to do it. But I think it cost me about 100 coins, and they only had a FUD 1 on them, so they had nothing on them. But I have like 5 flagships that need ranked, and I'm just not even bothering. I just don't care to do it. I have like Harlock Cannoneer, Harlock Centurion, Zoe Vendetta, Zoe Retribution. I just don't even want to look at it, to be honest.
You're already burnt out from it. I mean, one thing that I would really implore Kixeye to think going into the future. I mean, really, really, please, I implore you to think about this. Do not give us a chore fleet or a raid fleet like the Tide Seekers and the Cannoneers that take 14 hours to repair with no armor. Because I'll tell you what, I was really upset doing my Cannoneers last month because holy crap, the repair on those things is abhorrent. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that trend because the Apollos were, I think, a really good balance, and then the Hellrace got a little bit more, and then the Tides got a little bit more, and it's just been it's been escalating in terms of repair time, and it's starting to feel it was about a year and a half ago when people started going, hey, look, it's starting to feel like Kixeye is trying to force you into actually coining. By doing these things, and that's kind of what it's starting to feel like, just a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about the TLCs and the content. It's like we're getting back to that point where we were, a year and 6 months ago. It's like the way the content is now and the way that the tech is rolling out. I almost feel like we took so many steps forward, but currently with the content overload and the way we're being forced, at least not forced, but if you want to progress in that scenario, you have to do that. And it kind of feels like the options and the freedom's going away again. And we're kind of being put back against this corner of saying, look, you have to put a bit of coin out here.
Yeah, I don't know that it's as bad. I mean, it's certainly not as bad as the way I felt a year and a half ago. I mean, I think it's just starting to get that feel again. And that's why I'm worried, is because we've been there before. So, I know the feelings leading up to how it was then, and I really don't want to repeat that. I mean, they were doing so well. They did so well last year. Yeah. The last couple of months of the year were fantastic. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, from like mid-December to now, it's felt like the hamster wheel got a couple extra hamsters kicking on it. So, but
okay. Well, is there anyone else that would like to discuss anything regarding or around the VXP?
I would just like to say one thing. Like, for the targets after VXP weekend ends, technically, I know last month there was still a target in one of the sectors in the world, like on Tuesday. So if you can try and tell everyone to just not kill them.
Look, that's a good point. At the end of VXP time, or at the end of this 36 hours, if you're online, grab a gunboat, hop in it, go hide in the corner, and let the timer for the whole thing run out. When you come out, those targets stay. I know it's but now you said that on there,
they're going to make sure that doesn't happen.
They can't do that until they refresh the game.
So I don't know that. I will see. Yeah, it won't. It'll last until they update the game or something. But it's a little weird glitch that happens. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you come out and the target disappears. Sometimes you come out and the target stays for the next 3 days. I remember there was one. It was one of the Reva ones, and it was hiding in the corner of like Sector 4, like something, and it was there for an extra 2 weeks, and people would go in and just die in it. And but yeah, if you can time it right, you can keep those around for a little bit longer if people can agree not to kill the damn things.
Yeah, because the important thing, you don't need to kill it. Actually, if you go into 100 and you do a perfect run, you get 0 VXP.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is just to go in and sit there. Like I say, move
Yeah.
2 boats. I'm doing it now. I'm on the 8th hit now for these Liberators. I'm just going at 9 o'clock, move forward 2 boat lengths and stop, and then just let the big Brad cannon hit you, take
that's
you out.
it.
I haven't done 1 bit of damage to this target at all. And it's costing me now, because I've got a grease monkey running, it's costing me literally 2 coin to fix the whole fleet.
But isn't it bad that rule sat you're saying you need to run your triple salty and a grease monkey as well?
Well, I don't have to, I just want it cheap.
Yeah,
And still,
that's.
I
mean, well, the thing is, that develops a disparity between the have and the have-nots even greater than one that already exists, because unless you have the ability to get a lot of uranium and get those grease monkeys and get those triple salties and be ready and all this other stuff, it's just I have the feeling that it's gonna cause a rift that we tried really hard to repair in the last year.
Yeah, definitely. I agree on that point too. I feel like they're repeating past mistakes right now. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're walking down a road they've already walked, and we're going to see it again.
Yeah, either that, or I mean, there might be a big grand plan, but we don't know it. And that's one of those transparency communication type things that, if there is a grand plan, then come on out and go, hey guys, we know this looks odd, but give us a little bit, and it'll come to light, and you'll see the whole picture in a little bit. Right now, it just seems like everything's lopsided. Just give us some time. We don't get that. We just get the content, and we're doing what we're doing now. We're flipping out a little bit.
Well, I am going to look to get some Kixeye on the show in probably the first or second show of next month. So, with a little bit of luck, we can actually have an episode where we talk about the current state of the game, and maybe Raken, or maybe even Raken and Doom. I haven't officially asked them yet, but it is something I'm looking to do. So
I'm working on that at the moment, actually.
Like I said, I mean, there might be a plan. There might be like a grand plan, and like by the end of March, we're going to actually understand what all this was for, and everything will be balanced out again, and then we're going to go, oh, well, duh, it made sense. But from right now, from our perspective, it doesn't. It's just frustrating a lot of people.
Yeah, and I would actually say, if there is any kicks watching, just please slow down a little bit on the flagships, because they seem to be the ones that's killing me at the moment.
Yeah, if you start adding in flagships and the ships that we got to build and all of this stuff, we're getting very, very time constrained again. And I understand the flagships help tune stuff, but the problem is the targets are tuned for the flagships. You don't really gain anything. You just kind of stay level. You level the playing field with that flagship. Just look at the
center turret. The center turret in a 75 takes 20 seconds to kill with the flagship and 5 of them. What the ball? Sorry, continue.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, what I'm kind of thinking beyond the raid. Like, I'm watching people. Like, I have a lot of people asking about the Tideseeker stuff, right? Ren just did a video showing a quick way to boost your bloodthirst in the FM, and people are asking for stuff to get uranium easier, and I have this and I have that, and one of the things is, if you have the Tideseeker, absolutely get the Harlock Tide. It completely changes the fleet, and when this stuff goes from raid to chore, I don't like having a lot of the player base locked out of aspects of the game that really are, to me, seem necessary. Like, I'll prep a bunch of uranium in my sector because you need uranium. You need uranium to get up. But if you didn't get the Tideseeker and you have, a regular internet connection, the way that the game lags a lot, you can't really use the Hellrace to consistently get uranium. You really kind of need the Tideseeker for that. And to do that well, you need the Harlock Tideseeker to have those things perform the way that they're designed. I mean, all the stuff that I had on that article on the anatomy of design for the Tideseeker, the presumption is that you're going to use a Harlock Tideseeker for those builds. So I feel like people might be starting to feel like they're getting locked out of content if they don't have some of this stuff that takes long time to build and time to rank, and you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll just come back, mate, and I haven't got any of these hulls, these lead holes, mate, and I can even see it with my Vendetta fleet. My Morts, mate, I don't do out to bases at all, and then I look at one that's got Zoe's in, mate, and they're just ripping them to bits, and it's just like, really?
And how frustrated? You know what? How frustrated do you feel, Monster, when you see that shit?
Very, mate, because I mean, I've got the full fleets built, and they're all sculled, and we've got exactly the same stuff on, but because they've got that one lead ship, it completely changes it. Like,
and now here's the next question. Since you're a filthy coiner, do you feel like you're a little bit more frustrated because you actually don't even have the option to get it, even if you wanted to coin it?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I do, mate.
I mean, it's one of those things. And look, he's a coiner, right? And coins more than I ever would.
You say it like
it's being able to do it. It's not a dirty thing. I'm envious because I can't do it, right? I can't do it like he can, and I'm envious. I'm jealous. I'll admit it.
Hey, that's what
right?
she says.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If he is starting to feel frustrated, and there's a disparity between him and other players that are in his kind of group. Imagine what's going on between the people that actually have all the tech depth, right? Like, imagine the comparison between me and a player that's like in the late 80s, early 90s that does not have the same depth of tech that I do. I mean, the frustration levels are going to get up there, and the rifts between these player groups are going to start getting bigger if this continues, unless there's a bigger plan.
I noticed the
same thing in the.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Well,
I noticed.
All right, Jeff, you go first. Then Monster, you go next.
In trying to do the 3 cannoneers parallax, and it was almost impossible.
Okay, Monster.
I was going to say, to be fair, that's why I coined the price, because my Vendetta fleet, and I'm just using it for FM, mate, because there's no point in trying to hit a base with it, because without that Zoe ship, it's just useless, unless I go around and SEAL Club, like. But it's just no good now.
Tito?
Yeah, I was saying that the problem that I see on Kickstarter is that they are not very friendly with people coming back into the game. They are struggling, even if in the case of Monster that is willing to coin to get that tech. So I suggest that if next month they are doing a sort of whole store or tech store, whatever you want to call, if they are going to release turrets, please put the special. If they are going to release special blueprints, make sure that you put the most you can, the most that the system you are using is allowing you, because a lot of people is just struggling to get something. If you put the ballista, but you don't put the super magnetic rails, it's useless because you cannot get that damage. If you put the draconian scatter gun, but you don't put the hydroxides, you don't get the damage that you require to do it.
It's a hull store, so they should put out as much tech as possible right now. And Tito has a fantastic point. If you're going to release something, if you're going to release one thing, release the complementary thing as well.
Didn't Kixeye say though? Aren't we getting like a tech store now?
Yes,
I don't think we're not getting a whole
superstore. It's a superstore now. Yeah,
they did something similar to that, Liam, on December, and they released all the limited turrets again, but they didn't put the specials. So they just started working 25% what they could do.
Wouldn't you rather it came out as a pack? Rather than this can have that. Why don't you just say, I'd like this pack or that pack, and this pack is the special, the turret, and the XYZ.
That would be awesome. If you don't make it attractive as a business view, they are not going to do it. They put it somewhere.
They can do it prize pack. Look, you can get prize pack, 27, right? Make it like a Chinese,
you know what?
Make it like a Chinese menu. Hit prize pack 23. It's going to be 20 million points. There you go. Done.
You can pick things individually, or you can pick it as a pack for slightly less.
Just like the set menus on the back of a thing. Is that your thing? Individual set menus. That was my plan anyway. That's what I wanted to put forward. So
there will be somebody that will start to cry in the forums that he is glutamatic allergic and he's not getting that menu. So we know that we are not going to do good for everybody, but yes, they have to do something.
I really like that idea. I really, really like that idea.
That's what we should be seeing in the TLCs. that that we should be seeing that. I know we kind of see it, but we should be seeing that more frequently. We should be seeing lower end TLCs that you don't have to have the greatest, latest tech. Let's make a snowfall campaign TLC from 2 years ago, and let's put the executioner and this that goes with it. Let's put or like you say, let's put this in the hydroxiv coating. Why aren't we seeing TLCs that offer relevant tech packages?
Well, I think they had said that they were looking into actually doing that.
It's not been finalized yet.
But the problem, George, is that the main source of tech is the FEM. And the FEM, since I came back, it's not changing at all. I was talking to Liam at the start of the show, in the pre-show. In the past, the FM was having a sort of the prices were rotating a bit. Now they don't rotate at all. And
no, I have to disagree. I have to disagree. After the last week, I think that they've taken a huge step in the proper direction for the FM. They moved stuff around. They made it easier.
They have moved a step from one pool price to another one, but they haven't added any new prices. But the pool insurance, the city.
That's why I said. That's why I said the first step. I mean, they're looking at it. They've done something. I think I'm see with that one. I'm of the mood, or I'm of the mind of what they made the first step. It was an enormous step. I'm gonna wait and see what they do now. I'm thinking that they're actually doing that. They're going somewhere with that. So that one, I'm in a wait and see thing. And I really want to let Robin talk because I know she's been waiting.
That's all right. Point on the it was just a point on the flagships that you were talking about. A lot of things that I keep hearing from people is, well, I've got to build an ironclad flagship for my iron ship, and then I got to build the canoe for the canoes, and the build times haven't gone down any, but yet the restrictions are there that they can only be used within specific fleets. And so I haven't even bothered with an ironclad and really wasn't planning on doing it because I got so many other things that I need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we used to like about the Grimshire and stuff, is that it could be used in any fleet.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just one flag, but it could be used in any fleet. Now you've got to have a Pacific flag for a Pacific fleet.
Because it would be overpowered elsewhere, and they're trying. It's there's a lot of restrictions on everything now. Not only is there a restriction on what ship can be used where, but there's also now a restriction on what ship can hit what. And in what class, and in what level, and it's just.
And spending 30 days on a flagship that can only be used for a specific fleet that is only going to be around for a certain time, whereas going back to the Savage Kodiak, you can use that all over the place. Same thing with the Highland nuclear cruiser, but to me it's just not worth it dedicating that time unless it's going to be a do or die for a raid.
Mm-hmm.
Visago's Punisher. Oh.
Yeah, I built one.
One stage down from a man of war.
I built a Visago's Punisher. I never used it.
No. The biggest one is that TSM. How many times have you take away the man of war? How many times?
Yeah, Mark's man of war.
Mark is a man of war champion.
The sun.
Oh, please.
I did the preview with him, and he was afraid to use the man of wars in the preview, and the coins were given to us. We didn't have to.
That's how bad.
In one preview, I put the man of war in my base, and it worked well. I think it was the Fury.
Did you fix it though? Come on.
Well, I was in the preview, so I didn't actually have it built in the live.
But even the preview, the problem with that, I mean, okay, we won't talk too long about a man of war, but the preview, as soon as you're in the preview, and then you look at it and you go, yeah, it's dead now, and you just look down and go, right, I'm going to click repair because it's free, and you go, holy cow, it's like 100 odd coins. You're like, wow, man, I'm never using this for real.
Mark, to a corner like you, that's pocket change.
Well. But,
no, I tell you, the coins were given in the preview. We didn't have to pay for those coins, and it was hurting him to use those coins.
Yeah, I actually put it away. I didn't actually take it out in the end of one of the previews. I was like, no, I'm just going to put that back in the base.
Sometimes it's safer, Mark.
Yeah, it's the last thing I usually hit with when I'm finishing the streams, to be honest. I just have a bit of a giggle at the end, sort of stuff.
Yeah, I remember being so hyped up when we had that raid where we could collect 50 shards, and I got the Man of War, the Ghost Crawler, the Nemesis, and the
Hellstar.
Yeah, I got them all in one raid.
You did. That was it. I remember that now.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I'm going to build them, and I've not built any of them. I've built the sub, and that's it. I've not built any of them.
I thought you coined the ghost crawler. Didn't
I coined the ghost crawler on that day. I did actually coin that, but even that, even now in the game, I mean, what is that? Just a glorified salvage hitter?
It's the most annoying ship still because I use it all the time.
You can still get in a base, but only.
I haven't built mine.
That's my 11 o'clock at night fleet. That one.
I still haven't decided. Like I have that. I got the proto, and I've not built either. I can't.
See, I was kind of
a lot of time.
When we had the raid, the sub raid, I kind of stupidly thought, oh yeah, I'll use my ghost crawler in this, and refitted fire twisters all over it, and now it's just a big floating turd that needs refitted again, and I just can't be bothered to do it. So,
yeah. What you got, Jeff?
To the flagship thing, they also took away a flagship. Made the to go into PvE targets with the Omega.
I mean the Defender?
Oh yeah.
Because
I didn't understand that one at all. I understand that they don't let you use the Vanquisher maybe because of the 500,000 that repairs in 30 minutes, I think it is, or 1 hour, no, 2 hours. And that's maybe too much, but the Omega has an interesting repair time on its own, so that one they should have let.
Do you not think? I mean, okay, it looks the same shape, but just based on its base stats and that sort of stuff, you would never attack a base with that hull. It doesn't got the right stats for it. So I just think they should have classified it as something different. Maybe
it's classified as a defender.
Yeah, but it shouldn't even be that, to be honest, because you wouldn't put it in your base and try and defend with it because it would just last seconds.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
it's a rubbish as defense.
Flagship buff.
Put it in the back as a buff. That's what you're going to get for ballistic buffs, isn't it? But it's still
should
a
have been
rubbish
seen.
hull, and it's a waste of a slot.
And the flagship they did want us to build gave us stun resist, which doesn't matter. Like no one cares, and ballistic damage, and it gives speed and reload and turn to the fleet. Like the buffs that the Omega would give us are worse than the buffs that the Cannoneer would give us, and we're not allowed to use that one. What?
Yeah, it's odd.
Well, you know, guys, I mean, as Kickstarter did say, coming next month is Harlock's Man of War. Zoe's Ghost Corner, Sargo's Hell Wraith, and it's going to be.
I'll just, I mean, we're getting to the hour, and I mean, we're not fixed for time. I know it's a weekend, but you know, funny enough, I was just reading up to get some bits and bobs for my kids for school, and I've just come across George Orwell's Animal Farm book, and you know, people are always equal, or some are equal, but some are more equal than others. I think that's the slogan.
All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Yeah, but it's people in this instance, isn't it, in the game? So yeah, it's the same concept, isn't it? I mean, that's must be the slogan above every PC at Kickstarter, I believe.
Hey, now come on now. BP is free to play, okay?
Yes, exactly. That's the point. So everyone's equul.
Yeah,
so some are more equal than others, and that's the concept of this genre, isn't it? Would you agree or not?
Right, it just clicked for Brian.
I don't know. I started to wonder if equal means the same in every single language in this world. Because I think that the Spanish concept and the English one is not, or American one is not very similar. No.
We can all log in. We can all play.
We can all log in, and we can totally.
Well, we can log in sometimes, because there are times you cannot even log in the game.
Yeah, but then you can play pokies. So.
No, they stopped doing that too.
Pokies anymore. They took that away long ago.
It is through the grace of Robin that we are allowed to play pokies. All hail.
It's there. You can still do it.
It's on the Congregate side. I've posted it a couple times on some
exactly.
things, but it's still there.
It's not there when they have the site down. They don't have it up for you to be able to play anymore. We got to actually rely on people like you to find it for us.
I actually I miss pokies, so I would like to see that link, Robin.
We know what Liam's going to be doing all night now.
I remember having a lot of fun times for pokies.
He's going to get drunk and play pokies all night.
I've drank a bottle of champagne when the show started to the show end. I've drank a bottle of champagne. So.
Let's see. There you go. Lush.
That's because he had Lucy. That's because he had Lucy doing all his work for him.
Can I just say, Liam's in a different level to everybody, right? So he sits there playing BP, drinking champagne.
Smoking Cubans,
instead of playing a PS4 or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, what can I say?
How many people sit down playing BP, coining, and then drinking champagne at the same time?
I had a lot left over from Christmas. What do you want me to say?
Did you have caviar at the side as well?
No.
The finer things in life: champagne, caviar, man of wars.
Yeah.
Don't drop that on the keyboard. It doesn't work well.
Oh, and switchblades. Finer things.
Anyway,
Hey, nothing wrong with switchblades.
I could see some use on the new hull.
well, I've scolded my Liberators now, by the way. Just it's done.
Oh, you filthy, filthy coiner. Where's that picture?
Okay, guys. So have we got anything else to cover, or am I okay to look to close the show? Do we have anything else we want to discuss? Is there any other topics anyone wants to throw out there?
No, I got my rant out. I'm good.
Look forward to the update on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Okay, guys. Well, then we will see you Tuesday. And thanks for everyone that's come on the show tonight. Great to see you all. And thank you for everyone that tuned in to watch us live. Everyone in the YouTube chat. I appreciate the you coming on tonight to watch the show and talk with us. So have a good weekend. Enjoy what's left of the VXP weekend. And we will see you on Tuesday's show. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
No.